Running low on XP? Fear not, wary traveler, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Level Up.
I'm still Kenley Hoover, and he's no longer Brandon Gannicott. He's Brandon's stunt double.
That's not true. It's just me without the hair.
Anyways, I revisited Rapture over the weekend, and I'll be giving you the lowdown on just how it went down.
Just try to stay objective. Anyway, I bring you a glimpse into the future. Not the one with the Nazis on dinosaurs, but the fun one with an Xbox that goes in your pocket, and flying cars, and a smartphone from Microsoft that doesn't suck. Yeah.
Alright, I think it's my turn then. Brandon, would you kindly remove yourself from the stage? It's been 2 years since the original Bioshock's release, and 2K Marin has finally graced us all with a sequel. But is the return journey to Rapture a success or a sinking disappointment? Well, let's dive right in and find out. To begin with, let's talk about the return to Rapture. Thankfully, 2K Marin's iteration of the franchise has refined the original Bioshock's architectural design and beauty. The city is still standing, but that's not to say the city hasn't been severely decayed in this time. Rubble, leaks, and stress fractures can be seen all over Rapture. Yet, the greatest achievement of Bioshock 2 is that you still feel like you're in the same old Rapture from the first game. You're just getting to see more of it this time. New areas like Popper's Drop, Fontaine Futuristics, and Ryan Amusements all feel like areas of Rapture that keep true to the game's fiction. New characters and some old faces flesh out the narrative as players make their way through Rapture. The voice acting in this case is superb, just like in the last game. A majority of the backstory will be supplied through audio journals littered across Rapture's landscape. These little tidbits of voice acting are excellently done and establish the characters of the recorded messages extremely well. Now let's get down to the fact that you're no longer playing as Jack from Bioshock 1. For those of you who have been living under rocks or just hate video games and having fun in general, Bioshock 2 puts you in the boots of a Big Daddy. Yes, those hulking behemoths from the first Bioshock that made for some of the most hectic and difficult fights in video game history. However, you are no ordinary Big Daddy. You play as Delta, the first prototype Big Daddy to successfully link with his little sister without going insane. This means that the trek through Rapture won't be nearly so scary as the first time around. After all, you're a big dude in a diving suit, wielding a drill and a gun that fires railroad rivets. The combat has received some much-needed love. While fights in Bioshock 1 were certainly enjoyable, Bioshock 2's battles are much more faster and much more brutal. And this is due to the fact that you have a new dual-wielding feature, which allows you to wield your weapons and plasmids simultaneously. This allows for all new combinations and variations of ways to introduce your enemies to their timely ends. Bioshock 2 also features several new enemies to contend with. While the typical splicer variants from the first game are around, they have been reskinned to look even more deformed and insane than before. New enemy types like the Brute Splicer and the Rumbler Big Daddy will certainly give you the runaround the first time. But the Big Sister will take much more time and energy to defeat. These things are nasty. They deal heavy damage and strike quickly, giving the player little time to dodge. You better stock up on med kits and Eve hypos before taking them on. Your only warning will be a blood-curdling scream and, well, then it's go time. Good luck. You're gonna need it. On the downside of things, the story isn't nearly as engaging as the first game. A simple story about finding your little sister who you were separated from forcefully leads the player across the various areas of Rapture, dealing with the city's new leader, Dr. Sophia Lamb. Points to 2K for programming the most annoyingly pretentious character ever to be seen in a video game. After 2 levels of listening to Dr. Lamb's quips and remarks, I considered putting my foot through the screen in the hopes that she might feel it. The climax of Bioshock 2's story doesn't really have the same punch-in-the-gut feeling that the first one had. In addition, frustratingly difficult waves of splicers and Big Daddies replaced the cumulative boss fight that the first one had. I would have also liked to have seen your choices regarding the Little Sisters affect the game throughout instead of just the last level. This finally brings me to the multiplayer. The entire experience feels like playing Call of Duty, except with the ability to throw lightning bolts and you can hurl swarms of bees at your adversaries. You receive experience points at the end of each match that'll earn you new ranks, and each rank will unlock a new weapon, plasmid, tonic, weapon upgrade, or trial, which is the Bioshock 2 interpretation of COD's challenges. You can then customize 3 loadouts with 2 weapons plus an upgrade each, 2 plasmids, and 3 tonics. The weapons and plasmids feel slightly unbalanced, and the experience can feel rather laggy at times. But you can hack vending machines to dispense grenades, and hack turrets to have them fire upon your enemies. Another handy feature is the ability to take research photos of your fellow opponents, granting you a damage bonus against them. But perhaps the greatest feature in multiplayer is finding the spawned Big Daddy suit on the map. Be the first one to grab it, and you'll get to suit up as a rosy Big Daddy, using your trusted rivet gun and sticky grenades and stomp attack to take down your much weaker foes. All in all, the multiplayer is just kind of an added bonus for true Bioshock fans, though. My closing thoughts on Bioshock 2 are this. The story might not be as engaging as the first, but the chance to return to Rapture is too sweet to pass up for a true fan. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the franchise, give Bioshock 1 a try first, because the multiplayer certainly won't win you over with heavy hitters like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Bad Company 2 out on the market.
In the gadget world, Apple's iPhone reigns supreme. We've all seen the commercials, and I don't need to repeat the taglines. A massive store of apps, powerful functionality, and an overall design aesthetic that screams sophistication have catapulted the iPhone over its daughter and competitors. It created a new market all unto itself and has returned literally billions of dollars in revenue for Apple. Microsoft at long last has an answer. The Windows Phone 7 Series phone. Not the most elegantly named device on earth, but it's got 2 huge things going for it. A slick UI that actually rivals that of the iPhones, and an incredibly wise move, Xbox Live integration. The specs for all handsets that will carry the Winfo brand put the iPhones to shame, so you can expect respectable 3D visuals. More importantly, your gamertag will travel with you, enabling you to score those crack-high-inducing gamer points on the go. I, for one, would like to see games that are tailored to the device as solitary experiences, as well as those that tie into a console title in a meaningful way. Being able to queue up downloads for your Xbox from your phone, much as you can from the website, is another useful possibility. There are a lot of Live devotees out there who would be mighty interested in a phone that's linked to their account. The games demo for the device so far feature rich 3D graphics at a level on par with the PSP, at least. There's not much to say on the titles you can expect to see on the market for the Winfo, as the device is still so new. However, the phone is still shaping out to be one mean media machine. Xbox Live, Zune HD, and smartphone all rolled into one. Okay, it's enough future. I don't want to scare you. Nice work on that Bioshock review, Kenley. I'm glad it wasn't tarnished by a shoddy sequel like too many other games.
Amen to that, brother.
Now, would you kindly give yourself a concussion? Get on with it.